Maya's hands trembled as she pushed open the heavy restaurant door. Tonight wasn't just another night. It was a chance, maybe the last, to prove she deserved a place in a world that had always shut its doors in her face. Her heart beat wildly, a mix of hope and fear twisting inside her chest. The warm glow of the dining room should have been a comfort, but instead, it felt like a spotlight, exposing every crack, every scar she tried so hard to hide. She caught the glance, the subtle shift in the air as eyes flicked her way. Whispers danced just beneath the hum of conversation, invisible barbs meant to remind her she was different, not wanted. When the hostess's polite smile turned cold, Maya's stomach dropped. Then came the words, sharp and unyielding. "We don't serve people like you here." The world around her blurred. Humiliation burned hot, spreading from her cheeks to her soul. Her breath caught. The rain outside suddenly seemed colder, harsher, as if the sky itself was mourning with her. Kicked out, rejected, invisible. But deep inside, beneath the sting, something stirred. A quiet promise that this pain would not define her. The small bell above the restaurant door jingled softly as Maya stepped inside. Her coat was damp from the light rain outside, her breath slightly visible in the cool air. The soft hum of quiet conversations filled the space, mingling with the clink of silverware and the distant notes of a melancholy piano playing from the corner. Maya's eyes scanned the room nervously. This place wasn't her usual haunt. She wasn't here for the food or the atmosphere. She was here for a meeting. One last attempt to get a job, a chance to turn her life around. Her hands trembled slightly as she adjusted the strap of her worn-out bag. A few heads turned to glance at her, some with curiosity, others with barely concealed judgment. Maya caught sight of a couple laughing loudly by the window, oblivious to the world beyond their bubble. She moved toward the hostess stand, where a woman with perfectly manicured nails and a tight smile regarded her coolly. "Table for one?" the hostess asked, voice clipped. "Yes, please," Maya replied softly. The hostess tapped a few keys on the reservation book, then looked back at Maya, her eyes narrowing slightly. "I'm sorry, but we're fully booked tonight." Maya blinked, confused. The place looked half empty, but before she could protest, a tall man in a crisp suit approached. "Excuse me," he said with a patronizing smile. "Are you causing trouble here?" Maya's throat tightened. She shook her head. "I was just asking if there was a table." The man's smile faded. "Listen, lady, this isn't the place for you. We don't serve people like you here." The words hit Maya like a slap. Her face flushed, eyes burning. She wanted to scream, to explain, but the room felt suffocating, all eyes suddenly on her. The hostess motioned sharply toward the exit. "Please leave. Now." Maya swallowed her pride and turned away, the sting of humiliation burning deep. The rain outside now felt colder, heavier. Maya wandered the empty streets, the city lights casting long shadows. Memories tumbled in her mind. The years of struggle, the constant battle to prove herself, the endless rejection. She thought of her mother, who worked 2 jobs just to put food on the table. Of the little brother who looked up to her. Of the dreams she once had. Dreams of art, of writing, of a life where she belonged. But the world was harsh. Tonight, that harshness had a name. The restaurant. She found a bench near a fountain and sat down, her tears blending with the rain. "I'm not invisible," she whispered. "Why do they treat me like I am?" The cold seeped into her bones, but so did a flicker of something else. A determination. Maya grew up in a neighborhood where doors were always closing before she could get a foot in. She had the talent, the heart, the passion, but not the privilege. She knew that in this world, who you were often mattered more than what you could do. The restaurant incident was not just about being asked to leave. It was about years of invisible battles, of silent judgment, of feeling less than. But Maya refused to stay silent. That night, soaked and shivering, Maya pulled out her phone and began typing. She wrote a message, raw and real, about what happened, about the pain, the humiliation, the injustice. She shared it on social media, hoping someone would listen. Within minutes, the post began to spread. Messages of support poured in. From strangers, from friends, from activists. Maya stepped forward, surrounded by supporters. She looked at the manager, steady and strong. "This isn't just about me," she said. "It's about respect, dignity, and fairness. And today, we demand it." The crowd echoed her words. After tense negotiations, the restaurant apologized publicly. They promised to change their policies and train their staff. The next morning, Maya woke to a flood of notifications. People wanted to help. They wanted to stand with her. She called old friends, organizers, community leaders. By midday, plans were made. As dawn broke, a line of cars pulled up outside the restaurant. One by one they arrived. Friends, allies, even local reporters. The convoy was a statement, a symbol that Maya was not alone, that injustice would not be tolerated. Inside, the staff stared in disbelief. Weeks later, Maya sat in the same restaurant, this time, welcomed warmly. She smiled, knowing the fight was bigger than one night. It was about making a difference, and she was ready.